Are you a homeowner who's worried about a water leak ruining your home? Then you should watch this video because I'm going to cover a product that can really help you out. I'm Gary with Ultra Plumbing, and today I'm going to be installing and reviewing the LP365 Whole Home Smart Leak Detector from Frizzlife. Worrying about a water leak ruining your home is a pretty sound concern for a homeowner. Water is very damaging and it can do a lot of damage very quick, or it can go unnoticed and cause a lot of damage before you even realize you have a problem. So today I'm going to cover a product that can really help you out with this issue. This is a little all-in-one unit that can turn off your water automatically when it detects something wrong. Now this isn't just a simple motorized valve. This is an all-in-one smart system that uses what they call ultrasonic technology to monitor the water flow. And apparently it can detect even really small changes, and then it'll shut off the water automatically whenever it senses something that it determines to be abnormal. So apparently there's some learning to this system. So I'm going to install and test this unit, and then I'm going to give you my opinion as a professional plumber on whether it's worth installing in your house or not. I like that there's not a whole lot of stuff inside the box. It's pretty simple. The unit comes with 1-inch connections on the side, but you can actually use these union nuts here with these nipples to reduce it to 3/4, because most people are going to probably have a 1-inch or 3/4-inch water main coming into their house. It also gives you these washers that are used with these 2 union nuts with nipples. They also give you Teflon tape, and then here's the box adapter, the electrical adapter to plug it in. And then we got the cord. Seems like the cord's about 7 to 8 feet long. And then of course the valve control box. This thing's a little hefty, but it should be okay, supported for most pipe systems without having to use some kind of additional support. But overall, this thing is built really well and it feels really solid. And I like that the connections are metal and not plastic. It seems like a lot of companies these days use plastic, and I don't know, it's becoming more and more rare to see metal connections on things, so I definitely appreciate that. And as you see, these are 1-inch MPT connections, male threads, but those adapter bushings, it's like a nipple with a union nut and washers that you can thread onto here to make it 3/4 inch instead, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to install this thing and test it out. It works with the Tuya Smart Life App, which if you have a smart home, you might be familiar with it already. But that is how you use it to interact with the device. So I'm going to be showing that as well. But you see, I use those small rubber washers with the 2 union nuts and nipples to thread them onto the unit. And then I go ahead and I add my Teflon tape on that came with the unit. If this is your first time installing Teflon tape, the most important thing to know is to install it clockwise. If you thread it counterclockwise, it'll unthread when you thread on the actual fitting. But I'm going to snug these union nuts as well, just so we can compress those rubber washers under there real good. And then we're going to put on our female adapters. I'm going to use pipe joint compound on the threads that I already put Teflon tape on. And I'm using PVC female adapters because I'm installing this on PVC pipe. So I add my pipe joint compound to both sides, and then I thread on my female adapters. Make sure you don't get any pipe joint compound in the actual, fitting or inside of the pipe, and make sure you don't over tighten your female adapters because it could crack them or break something else. So I snug the 2 female adapters with my channel locks, and then I'm ready to move on to the installation. You want to install this system on your main water line before it branches into your house. So here you have my main water line coming in like this, and it goes up and goes to the house. So I'm going to install it right here off of this loop so that I can have it receiving the water before it actually goes into the house. That way it can monitor everything after the auto shut off. So now that I've selected a spot, I'm going to install it. So I got my clear primer, I got my clear PVC cement. So I'm going to put it right about that spot there. And now that I know exactly where it's going to go, I go ahead and cut my pipes, and then I can start installing it. And now I'm just going to shut up for a few moments so you can watch how I installed this. When connecting the pipes to the smart unit itself, make sure you hold the unit vertical so that the glue or primer doesn't seep down into the unit. As you can see here, I'm holding it upside down as I put the cleaner and the primer and the glue in there, so none of it gets into the components. So once we have it installed, we just need to plug it in by connecting the adapter in the back. You'll see it only plugs in one way, it's got that little notch in it. So we plug that in and we just tighten the little nut on there to hold the plug together, and then we plug it into a nearby power outlet. The cord is about 6.5, 7 feet long. I know I said 8 feet earlier in the video, but I'd say it's more like 6.5, 7 feet. But we plug it in, and then while we're waiting for our PVC cement to set up, we can download the Tuya Smart Life app. The easiest way to get the app is by just scanning the QR code on the top of the unit. Just use the link from the QR code and it'll bring you to the Smart Life Smart Living app here. I actually already downloaded it, but it looks like I had to update it. But once I update it, I'm going to go ahead and open it up so I can show you what it looks like. Sorry for the minimized view, but this is the only way to show the entire thing on the screen with the long form video form. But right off the bat, you can see it tells us how many gallons we've used, and it tells you how many gallons we're currently using. It also gives us the option to open and close the valve and to turn off the protection. So it's pretty user friendly. You'll see that it says that it's 1 minute behind. So it pretty much updates every minute. So I'm going to leave this thing on for like 24-48 hours so it can kind of see our usage. And then I'm going to test it out a few different ways to see if I can simulate a leak and see if it works or not. So for my first test, I turned on the sink just the tiniest little bit. And then I left it like this for a while. And then I kind of actually forgot about it for a little while and went out and ran some errands. And while I was out, I ended up getting an alarm saying that there's a leak in my house. And this is what the alarm looked like. It took about an hour and a half for this alarm to go off, and when it did, the smart device shut the water off automatically. And as you can see, when I cleared the alarm, it gave me the option to turn the water back on. So I turned the water back on and turned the faucet off, and everything went back to normal. So then I did another test with the toilet. I tried to simulate a running toilet by placing something down on the fill valve. So I let it go for like 20-25 minutes this way, and then I decided to run every single thing in the house. So I turned on everything in the house and let it go for another 10 minutes. So that's like 30-35 minutes total, and it didn't shut off. So I decided to turn everything off because I figured it was safe to assume it was probably going to take another hour and a half, like with the small drip. So then I tried to do another test where I wanted to simulate a full-blown pipe burst. So here I have a
pretty much I just made a straight pipe coming off where the hose bib used to be with a ball valve. So I open it up, and now we have full blown force coming out. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Now we'll see if the auto shuts it off or not. So I let it go like this for about 7 minutes, and then I decided to turn it off because it didn't shut off automatically. So then I decided to try one last thing. The app has different modes that you can set to tell it how many people in your household, so it knows how to decide when to shut the water off. But there's actually advanced settings where you can go in and tell it a certain gallon amount or a certain flow amount to shut the water off at. So I set it to shut off after using 20 gallons of water, and then I repeated the same test. So I let it go like this, and it only took a couple minutes before it automatically shut off. As you can see, it's doing like 8.3 gallons a minute, so obviously in about 2.5 minutes it hit that 20 gallons and shut off. First, I got a little notification saying it was going to shut off shortly, and then it actually shut off completely. And this is what it looked like. Okay, that's enough of that. So I turned off the water and reset the alarm, and I told the app it was okay to turn the water back on. Okay, now what do I think about this device? So the pros are it's built well, has solid design, it was easy to install, it's easy to use, the app sets up and works in like a minute. You can control your water remotely with the app, which is kind of neat, like so you don't even have to be home, and you can see your water usage and turn your water on and off. You can set up alarms with the advanced settings, so you can actually adjust it and set it for the gallon per minute or for the duration that a certain amount of water is running. So that's helpful to kind of tweak it for your own application. Okay, so now the cons. I wish the unit could shut the water off a little quicker. It seems to me like if I'm running 8 gallons a minute, I don't know, that's kind of a lot of water to be running to go, 20-30 minutes running. So I wish it shut it off quicker, but again, you can use the advanced settings to set the, your own custom gallons per minute. So, maybe you can tweak with that and, get it to work for, it'll shut off quicker. Another con is that it requires power, so you're going to need an electrical outlet near this unit. So it's just something to think about because wherever you install it, you're going to need a plug. It won't work with the Wi-Fi without it being plugged in. So that's what I think about the device overall. If you're interested in purchasing one of these units, I'll put a link in the video description so you can check it out there. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me and I'll try to get to the comments and answer them. And if you found this video helpful, then definitely check out one of our other videos on our channel. We try to share helpful plumbing videos and tutorials as often as we can. And just thanks again for watching. We appreciate it.